Alright, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be covering how this Facebook ad strategy goes and works in place. And I'm going to be explaining to you guys how you can use it for yourself and how this ad strategy also made me hundreds of thousands of dollars. So let me just make myself smaller here. So the first thing we need to go and do, if we even want to use Facebook ad strategy, we need to have a good product. Right? We need to have something that's going to be valuable to sell to people. Now, there's two things we actually look at with good products. We have, first of all, our product economics, and we have the market. Now, with the product economics, we have certain rules, or we have certain things that the product needs to be in for the product to be good and to be validated for us to use. Now, the first couple things that I like to look at, now you can add more onto this list, of course, but these are the easiest four that I can always go into. Now, the product needs to give the solution of a problem to our customer, right? So the problem is, for example, customer has, a digesting issue in their stomach. They just, they just like all the time having problems with their stomach, like their gut or like their stomach acid, whatever the case is. And we give a solution to that exact problem. Now, we also need the product to be lightweight. This is also a very important part because we don't want to have high cost of goods. And I also have here big TAM. Now, if you're asking what is TAM, it's called total achievable market, which means the amount of people you can basically achieve with that market. If you're selling gloves to carpenters that only live in Ireland, for example, gonna be very hard to reach a lot of people. But if you're selling weight loss to everyone, you can of course reach more people. Now, it doesn't mean you have to just go full broad and reach every single person in the world, but it does mean you have to have a bigger achievable market that you can actually eventually sell to. And very importantly, which is last one, but most important one in my opinion, is, along with the solution of course, is repeat purchases. If you can make sure you're going to have repeat purchases on a single product, you're going to make sure you don't have to go out to acquire new customers all the time to make money. Now, that covers the product economics part. So when we're looking for a product, it needs to be under these rules or under these economics that we need to follow in order for our product to be good. Now, then we have market. What is our market? Is once you have the product, once you know who you're selling to, is to understand those people. Now, the best way to understand those people is by these 5 drivers. That's an ugly ass 5, but it's to understand it by these 5 drivers, which is basically the pain points that they're experiencing, the benefits they want out of the product, the desires they have that they want before even buying into the product, the fears and objections they have before buying the product, failed alternatives like other products they've tried before or other things they've tried to solve their problem. This is what we need to go into. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can find a product that's going to find or basically just come in all to these categories, right? So first things first, we just have to come over to ChatGPT, and what we can just ask ChatGPT is, what are the best or top 10 niches to sell to that have a problem they want solved right now. For example, what this is going to do is going to give you different niches you can actually go into. You can also add here, for example, like on Meta or on TikTok or wherever you want to sell, right? And you get all these things. Now, what we're going to type, while it's already typing it out, I'm just going to give, for example, I'll take, my space is messy, hair loss, hair growth. I'll take 2 hair loss and regrowth, right? Give me 25 keywords that I can use to find competitors on Facebook ads library. Now, what we're going to do with this is going to basically give us a huge list of all these things, exactly this, that we're looking for, that we can basically use, right? For example, stop hair loss. If you even search this up, right, on Facebook ad library, which we're going to do, you're going to find any of these. You're going to find so many other people selling it. So I basically searched it up here, and what you want to do, which majority of you guys are not doing, you guys are a lot of the time just looking at every single thing that is in the first rows here, or you guys are looking at all these things and be thinking like, oh, or you see something like this one, and you're like, okay, let me just take this because this is my best competitor. You guys are all looking at the first couple lines of where people are running. This is the wrong way to go about it. What you want to do is come over here to the filters, and you want to go down here, filters and pressures by date. You want to filter that at least by 1 to 2 weeks. Now, the reason why we do this is these ads, now I have filtered on July 21st, it's August 4th. These ads, what you're seeing here, are all active since July 21st. Now, what this is going to do, majority of the times, when you have big competitors that are selling a lot of, like, for a very long period of time, for a prolonged period of time, you're going to see them in here, just like these guys. I have no idea who this is, but just like these guys. You're wearing an advertorial. When you have an advertorial, you know usually these motherfuckers have to be running good. Now, they are selling to a specific audience, right? So their market that they're selling to, first of all, let's just go down the product economics path, right? So is it a solution that they're selling? Yes, where is it? They're absolutely selling a solution, which is basically hair growth serum. And then what they're also doing, which is very good, which I went into other videos, they're basically differentiation. Let me just make that bigger for you guys. They're basically using something called differentiation. Now, what is differentiation? Instead of selling hair loss, like to women, everyone is basically selling to normal white women, normal, men that are losing their hair, etc. But not many people are actually selling it to black people, right? And I don't mean that in any weird way, but you get the idea. When people are actually, feeling like they're talked upon, then you're gonna be like, holy shit, that's me. Let me just actually click on it. Let me see if it's something I can buy. And also, even with the pictures, they're showing their target audience. So what they're doing with the differentiation is you have two ways to differentiate, or with the product or with the target audience, right? They're differentiating with the target audience. Now, I've talked about this in another video, so I'm not going to go super lots into it. But when you can differentiate yourself like that, perfect way to do it. They've done it already here, which is really good for them. And I think they're also running up some numbers. You can check it by SimilarWeb. You can see how many people are actually on their store. 60K here, but and this is June. But I think around this will be probably double. They're doing a couple 100K a month at least. They have to be, right? And then also what we have when we go down here, it's a lightweight product that they're selling. So if we just go over the product, hair growth serum, pretty lightweight if you ask me. Then what we also have, big total achievable market. There's lots of black people out there that are losing their hair, or that are having thinning hair, or a lot of black women are wearing wigs and stuff. You get the point. They can even basically branch this out to black men that are also having their hairline very far back. A lot of people are struggling with this issue, so the total achievable market is there, and it's also good for repeat purchases. Why? Because once you use it once, it's not going to keep your hair forever. You got to keep using it, and especially even this. Let's say you use it for 3 months or whatever, you still have that bald spot a little bit. You still want to get their hair growing there. So what you're going to do, you're going to keep using it, keep using it, keep using it. So people are going to come back to buy it again and then again and again. So it's a very good, in my opinion, good product in that sense for following the product economics. Now, when you would do research on this, you would, for example, go to Amazon. You would, for example, come to Amazon, search up hair growth serum. You'll find lots and lots of serums here. Now, what you can also just do is just hair growth serum, black women, for example. Now, what you're going to have here, certain products are going to be targeted more towards women. When you find, these are sponsored, so I would skip those. But for example, this one, it has, I don't know if this is mainly for black women or black men. I don't really know. But if you have this, I do see lots of black people here. So, it's a good thing to go for because this is your target audience. This is who you're targeting. If you're targeting carpenters, you got to look what carpenters are saying. You're not going to look what, fucking entrepreneurs saying about your product. You got to look what a carpenter is saying. Now, the same thing with this. You're not going to look what I am saying because I'm not black. I mean, half black, joking. But you get the point. You gotta look what black people are saying because this is their problem. They're having problems with this, and you're gonna be able to see how they're talking and how it's going to be, something with there you can go into with their pain points, benefits, desires, etc. So when we come over here, what we see, for example, when we read through this, it definitely promotes hair growth. It's good. We're all different, so that means hair growth journey is not the same for some. Fast results. I would definitely recommend this. Okay. Not much there. This, are we using it? It's become a staple. Blah 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 blah. I've noticed less breakage, right, and fewer flyaways, okay, especially after styling, and my hair looks shinier and healthier. These are things you can notice: less breakage and fewer flyaways, look shinier and healthier overall. These could be desires they had, right, or these are things they actually wanted out of the product and they got it. Now, when we go over here, smells really bad, leaves an oily residue. Okay, so smells really bad, oily residue, fears, objections. They don't want that, right? So and then here also grew my hair. I've people saw so much hair growth. You need to massage it in. Okay, there's also something, doesn't have a pleasant smell because it's herbal. So we see, for example, it comes again and again, the smell ain't good. So lots of objections on that part. We can go into that. Now what we see here, for example, me this since I was a teenager, blah blah blah. No filter, blah 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 blah. Unique smell. It helps keep my scalp healthy, reduces breakage. Again, breakage could be then a big thing because the second, third time that I read it. Now, this could be what is a pain point? I had lots of breakage. And also what I saw, I believe somewhere down here, was like bald spots, etc. Or like people talking about that. You can just write down all these things just by continuing research. Like pain points is breakage, right? A lot of people have breakage. A lot of people have bald spots, right? Or a lot of people have, I don't know, very thick hair and they want like more smooth hair, or they want a bit like, you know, a bit nicer hair. We get the point. Benefits you can write down. Fears, alternatives. Probably someone talking about it here somewhere, right? So if you just continue through it, beauty supply. After 2 months, I went bald. I went from bald to absolutely have no hair to having some peach fuzz. That's something. In my 40s, noticed my hair was becoming thin and brittle. You can write those things down. You've been using for a week, blah, blah, blah. A bit thicker, right? It feels stronger, it feels thicker. See less hair fall. Less hair fall is also a desire they have, right? They want less hair. You get the point. You just go through it, pow, 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 and you just know what you need to be writing down and what these people are looking for. Now, what you also see, bestseller in hair products, which you can a lot of see what people like buy with this, for example. A lot of the times you can see like these type of things they buy, or like they buy a certain type of combs. You can upsell them with that, but that's just something for that. Now, this is how you find a product. Literally, you just go to ChatGPT, just again, ask for 10 niches, search which niche you want, and then get the keywords for it. Look for the keywords, look for something unique, just like the one I saw. Filter on a couple months or a couple weeks, my bad, and then you can basically go through the whole offer. You can see what they're trying to sell. They're doing a whole funnel system, but you get the point. You can go deeper and deeper into it. Now, when it comes to the creatives, there's a couple ways we can go about it. With creatives, or we can go video ads, which is one way, or we can go static image ads. Now, with this one, both would work amazing. Now, with the video ads, I'm not going to go super long into it, because then this would be like 40-50 minute video again. I've made 40-50 minute videos too much for you guys lately, so you guys are going to have to do with more concise videos that are going to be a bit shorter. Now, static images, this is a very good one. When we went over here, for example, I believe it was up here, yeah, it was this one, right? What you see in the video,
I don't think you guys understand.
It's a full fucking like VSL, bro, 8 minutes long, golly. But I don't think you guys understand that. What?
And that it is possible to grow your hair back. Here.
That's something these people are always scared of. Like, oh, I don't think this is one of their biggest pain points. Like, I'm scared I'm not going to be able to grow my hair back. Just saying that this works. Just saying. But you get the point. When you basically go through this, now it's a whole video. What you can do with this, I wouldn't recommend going like a before and after. But the reason why I say you can go with video on this, I'm not going to go super much into this video on video ads. But even with static image ads, this one would work amazingly, because with this, literally what you have here on this left side, for example, this thing here, literally even this picture, without this text on here, and the results were amazing. You can use that as like a static image ad. Of course, a bit different because before and after usually doesn't get through. But the idea with this is static image ads. You can target it so much because it's such a specific type of people. Basically, you're targeting black women, right? When you target black women, everyone knows how their hair looks like a little bit. Everyone knows what they're struggling with, right? If we go through this, if you really go through the pain points on Amazon also, you'll probably find a couple pain points about wigs, about balding, about hairline, about it being pushed back or gone back. You get the point. Continue. Then you could basically make an ad where we're going to be focused, for example, right, like this, where you're going to be saying like no more wigs, or where you're going to be saying no more balding spots or no more thinning hair. You get the point. You can go into certain stuff like that with the image ads, just like this one here. So I don't know if this is theirs, but instead of using this picture or these things, you put your own products here, and you can use this literally, except with, you know, the black women that you have. Now what they're doing also here, another one, and then here another video, but it's like more black people talking about it, right? Instead of this type stuff, which is going to target a complete different demographic. So what you want to do also with the image ads is exactly that. So instead of you, for example, going in, I mean, this is more menopause, complete different audience again. Let me just actually go to this one because this was a decent example. Instead of you actually just, you know, copying this and just leaving it like it is, make it a bit different. Change this up here, like leave it in the review. Talk about, you know, about wigs, about hairline, about balding, because this is what these people are having. Now, with other women like this, with Caucasian women, let's say then, different audience, they're not really struggling with balding. They're struggling with thin hair. They're struggling with brittle hair. They're struggling with a different type of problem. Now, black women could be, I'm not sure, it's not my target audience, I don't sell to them, but could be struggling with balding, could be struggling with, having to shave it all off, or could be struggling with hairline. Could, maybe it's not even thinning to them. Maybe they have very thick hair, but it's just very, very little. Like they just don't have enough hair on their head. Now, when it also comes to the static images, you can make them with AI, you can make them with Canva. Now, I'm not going to go too much into AI, but literally you can go to ChatGPT and then ask like, let me just throw a picture in there while we are waiting. So let me just actually get the picture up here. So if I actually go there, actually make like a screenshot of this shit. So let me just gonna throw it in there. Now this is gonna be the least effort you can put in. Make this image of a black woman's hair, that the first image is before where she has balding spots, and after image is that her hair is grown good, looking like an afro again. Make the image realistic, remove the play button and text, and also keep the hair nappy. I don't know, I'm just saying something. Let it just create an image in the meantime while we go more into the rest. Now, that's AI. You can make this way more complicated than it is. You don't have to just fucking lowball. Leave it be. You don't have to lowball like that. You can make it better than what I just put. But you get the point. You can just throw something like that. You can take pictures from Amazon. That'll be literally enough for you to work with. For example, this, you can just make them, right? You can make it better than what I just did. You can make it 100 times better, but I'm not going to go into that. Now we have Canva. So for the people watching also, I have two things here. You can replicate on Canva, and you can have a template on Canva. Now what templates, what am I trying to say is this. Now this is 250 ads, which you can literally just recreate with your own product. Shitloads of ads, right? Shitloads of them. You can literally, for example, take this one, just change the text up to, blah, 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 whatever it is yours. Add the images of your product and of whatever you're selling. Done. Same with this, same with this, same with this, same with this, same with this. It continues on and on and on and on. You have lots of them, right? It continues 251. You get the point. Probably way more ago. But if you want this template, go to my Instagram. Instagram is at burakharmandar.com. Just at burakharmandar. Go to my Instagram. Just DM me on there. I'll send it right to you. Now, for example, what you have, this is for fashion, but you can just do so much more with this if you actually just go through them. You have a couple ones that you can use more, especially at the beginning, for women or for people like these type of stuff. For what is this called, like supplements, you have also a lot of them. Or this one I used also in one of the videos. I believe I showed that one around. You have lots of things you can actually use here. For example, this one you can go into what your serum has, etc., etc. That's one way to go about it. Now, another way is to replicate. Now, replication, in my opinion, is the best way to do it. So, for example, if I have this picture, this one, right? Instead of you actually just, using this picture as it is, you would basically download this picture, okay? And then you would change it up to your brand. So instead of, just going with the templates, which you could also do, you could find more things in your niche by just going on Ad Library, finding this, for example, changing the text to whatever your audience is looking for, whatever their pain points, desires, benefits, alternatives, blah, blah, blah is. Here, add your customer reviews, or add customer reviews that are going to be close to your product, and then add your product in here, and also your headline has to be targeted towards yours. So 12 years, thousands of women, real result. With our competitor here, you would say 12 years, thousands of black women. You get it? That's what we're focused on, because we're talking about our audience. Now, you would replicate it in that sense. Now, that is basically how you make the ads and just find, etc. You get the idea. So when we go over here, just to recap, you try to find competitors that are kind of in the same niche, selling to the same audience as you. And then what you want to do with them is just go over through the whole funnels, try and see how they're selling, try and see what they're using, try and do your own research so you can understand your market, what they're trying to get from your product, which is these 5 points here. Pain points, the benefits, the desires, the fears, objections, alternatives, right? All the things they've tried. And then mix that in with a good product that has all the product economics, make some good creatives, and now you're going to be ready to run your ads. So what we're going to go into right now is your ad structure, right? So we're going to launch ads together. So the first thing we're going to do is hop over to Facebook Ad Library. So we want to come over here to Facebook Ads. basically your ad manager. Then you want to go click on sales. So this is the way we're going to launch a campaign. We're going to click on sales and we're going to continue. Now, when you click continue, of course, you can name your own campaign, whatever you want here. Like you can just name it CBO, broad, whatever. You get the point. What we're going to do when we come over here to the budget, we're just going to put it at 101.77. Now, the reason why we do this, Facebook is a bidding platform. Usually you're going to be bidding above people here. Now, with this also, because we're sorting by the campaign budget and not by the ad budget, we are basically creating a CBO. So CBO is basically campaign budget optimization. What it does is going to make sure you have the campaign here, you have the ad set. You can make multiple ad sets here, right? And instead of it spending the same amount on every ad set, what CBO is going to do is going to choose which ad sets are performing the best and which ads are performing the best. Basically, it's going to spend only on the best performers and not on the bad performers, right? So that's also what we want. Put it at 101.77, and then the way we go about it, like I'll show you here, we have one ad set and then we run 5 creatives. Now let me show you guys how that actually looks like. So when we are here, you basically just click on next, you fill in every single thing you need, you come over to the time. I usually recommend you guys launch it for the next day, so I would basically put this at 6 a.m. Next day, so it's August 5th, gonna be 6 a.m. End date, nope. The country, wherever you want to launch it to, United States or United Kingdom, doesn't really matter. You just add it in there. Broad. We don't try to do targeting. Now, if it's a female only product, what I would, however, recommend is that you can basically suggest an audience here, right? So you can click on suggest an audience and you can basically suggest on women, right? It's not going to leave it only for women, but it's going to suggest it more for women, where Facebook is going to send it more to them. Now, after that is done, that's basically it. You don't need more. Now, you need to, of course, make sure your pixel is going to be set on purchases. So your conversion event is basically going to be on purchase, right? This is the idea. This is what you want. Now, after that is done, basically click on next. And once that is done, you basically have your ad here. Now, what you want to do, you can name your ads 1, or you can name it basically like creative 1 or ad 1, whatever you want to name it, doesn't really matter. I'll basically name it ad 1 or number 1, number 2. You basically create your ad, you add your ads in here, you add the pictures that you want in there. So if I just basically go over here and I just forward this, I come over here, I'm just going to add it just so you guys can see how it's going to look like. You can basically add your website here, phone number. I'm just going to skip that. Now I basically added the picture in here. It's basically connected to my profile, so it's not going to be anything like any of my stores. There's once I tried to see how the ads would work on my own profile. That's why it's like my Instagram. Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, here's a fucking account, Burak Armando. Go follow me, motherfuckers. Anyways, on the primary text, what you want to talk about is, for example, you can leave a review in there. You can see what your competitor is doing. So a lot of the times it's going to be like this, right? I thought my thinning edges were just getting, you get the point. 150,000 black women and this and that. You can literally just copy, just go to ChatGPT, and I can literally just rewrite this, talk about emotional struggles black women are having with this more for my own brand named, I don't know, what would the brand name be? Woman. Fucking hell, just random shit. Who gives a fuck? We're trying it, right? You get the point. It doesn't have to be woman, but you have to basically just do it in this way, where it's going to be, targeted more towards what it actually does. So here, I thought my edits were this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit different until I finally understood what was really happening. For so long, black women have been told breakage, edges, it's just genetic or parts of aging. Bro, telling you, this ChatGPT knows what it needs to do. Now, the buy one, get one free, you can add that in there too. But basically on this one, you just throw it in there. On the headline, you can throw something along the lines of buy one, get one free. Or you can even just like leave reviews. So you basically do this, 5 reviews and then 4.9 / 5.0. And you just close it. Or what you can do, again, you just come over here, see what these guys are doing, full of hair in seconds. Or what does the other one say? Like these, your glow up starts now. You could go to ChatGPT. Where's ChatGPT again? Here. You could go to ChatGPT. You can see what it wrote down. Or, for example, no more breakage. For example, right? Or no more breakage, or whatever they're struggling. So you want to attack the pain points and everything first. So again, the idea is once you have this part good, the rest is going to be just like this. This part is like 90%. right? This whole thing that you see here, this whole video ads and this shit, all of this, this basically comes down to this. That's it. If you know how to differentiate, if you know how to go into your market pain points, the benefits and everything, the rest is just going to like basically add up, right? So what you can do with this is you can literally just put the stars in here or something. Doesn't really matter. Let me just do this quickly, right? You would make it, of course, a bit better. Now, what I also recommend is adding another text option here. So you basically want to do 2 primary text. Now, the reason why we do this is, for example, you're going to see which one is going to work better. And sometimes you'll see that people are not really in, let me just copy theirs, for example. You'll see that people are not really into reviews, but they're more into, I don't know, if you tell a story, or if you go into like straight away the points why it helps, right? If you do that, it's usually going to work a lot better for sometimes, right? You're going to see which one works better. Based off of that, you can continue. Now this, what we're going to do, it is duplicate. You usually have like an option that says quick duplicate, but apparently not. Now this one, you would name add to, and you would come over here, you would add your stuff, of course, like links and everything, and then you would come over here, add a different picture in here, right? You would change this picture or video to another one. Now again, you duplicate it again. Usually it's like quick duplicate. I don't know why it says normal duplicate for some reason. Then this, same thing, add number 3. And then you would come over here, again, duplicate it. You can also just do double duplicates. I'm just fucking around too much for some reason. But here, add 4, and then on this one, add 5. Now what you have is add 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 ads, all in one ad set and all in one CBO. And the most important thing with your ad structure is that it's going to be this one fucking word here, which is broad. You don't want to use targeting. You don't want to try and try segments or whatever. Broad. Leave it at broad. No need for any of this shit. So that's basically the whole ad structure that we are using. One CBO, one ad set. That one ad set contains all of your ads, all of your creatives. There are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatives that you're going to be throwing in here with 2 different primary texts. Okay? I mean, maybe that I could have added it in here, but a primary text, we get the point. Primary text, 2 primary text. Same with this. All of them is going to have 2 primary text. Now, after that is done, you just come over to your CBO again. You just click on publish. Now, mine is not going to publish because it's missing lots of stuff. But that is literally the way you run it. So, again, this could be something you could even go into. So what you're going to do, find a product that's going to suit our economics, our market and everything. Then you're going to make creative based on this, right? Even if it's video or static, doesn't fucking matter which one it is. It's going to be based all the time on your research. This is the reason why we do the research, because it's going to always come back down to this, right? Then you can also use AI ads with ChatGPT. Of course, use normal pictures. You can use pictures from other people. I just made a screenshot. That's why it's not doing it. And then you can also use the templates, and you can also replicate. Now, if you want the templates, you can just DM me killer ad template on my Instagram at Burak Almanda. I'll send it right to you. But then you run your ads with our ad structure, which is basically one CBO, one ad set broad. Just write it down again for the people in the back that ain't hear it. One ad set that is broad, all the 5 creatives in that one ad set, and then you want to have 2 primary texts along with it. So that's basically going to conclude this whole Facebook ad strategy. So that's basically going to be it for this video. If you guys are enjoying this type of content, leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. If you're interested in joining the coaching and actually surpassing 100K inside of the 4 months that we're going to be working together, it does come with an investment, but there's going to be a link down in the description. You can book a call. We'll hop on a call. We'll see where you are. We'll see how I can help you out. We can see how you're going to get to that 100K. We can see what we can do for you. So book a call there down below, and otherwise I'll catch you in the next video. So appreciate you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.